Hi, numbers. What do they mean? Since the dawn of time, I think humans have struggled to understand an objective reality. The gift of consciousness has also burdened us with the curse of subjectivity. The things that you experience with your own eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and ass are not the same as the next person. And as a result, you both bring unique perspectives to a conversation with one another. But what we tend to do, especially online, is that we try to assign an arbitrary number to something that determines its value. And I'm not talking about price value, I'm talking about artistic value, meaningful value. But these numbers that we use to attribute value to things and experiences are even more subjective than your rational explanation for why you enjoy or don't enjoy something. Because you can't relate to a number from an outside perspective. You give something a 6, what does that mean? No one's 1 through 10 scale is gonna be the same. Some people use out of 5, and I think that's fucking bullshit. But that leads me to today's topic, internet reviews. If I had to take a wild guess as to what the most populous kind of content on the internet was, I would guess user reviews. They are everywhere, to the point where they're almost unavoidable. I'd be willing to bet that you probably consumed a review in some form or another just today. But my biggest gripe with reviews is, what's the point of them? Apart from the already arbitrary nature of giving something a certain amount of stars or a certain amount out of 10 or 100, user reviews are just fucking blatantly not helpful. Half the time you don't gain anything of value from them. I just wonder why we still have them at all. I feel like it's a complete coin toss when I read a user review, whether or not it's going to actually even apply to the thing that I'm reading about. There's one website in particular that inspired this video and I think makes the most obvious distinction between like a professional review and a user review, and that's Metacritic. If you aren't familiar, Metacritic has 2 different review scores for every piece of film or show or video game. It's a lot like Rotten Tomatoes if you're familiar with that. Both scores are averages of all of the scores that make them up, one being the average from all professional reviews and the other being the average from all user reviews. This is where things get a little funny. So for example, here's a review from the New York Times of the new Uncharted movie. At least give Sony credit for recycling. That is the best that can be said for this nitwit treasure hunt movie Uncharted, an amalgam of cliches that were already past their sell-by date when Nicolas Cage plundered the box office in National Treasure. Jesus Christ. And here's a user review of the Uncharted movie. Nope, it didn't feel remotely like the game. I could really go for getting my 2 hours back. What balances these out is that there's so many more user reviews than critic reviews, so reviews like that don't exactly tip the scales, but sometimes you get a lot of reviews like that. And I mean a lot of reviews just like that can tend to muddy the waters. For example, The Last of Us 2 was a critically praised game with a Metascore of 93 and even has a little must-play badge. Also won a lot of awards, is also a really good game and you should play it. But the user reviews, 157,000 user reviews. So clearly there's a disparity here, and I think the only way to get down to the bottom of it is to look at the brilliantly worded critique, dumb decision making, unlikable characters, outdated gameplay, full of plot holes. Okay, I just played this game until the end. The game is not bad, but it does not enjoyable at all because of the writing and the story. Maybe I can tolerate the game if I don't have to play it as Abby. Very much hate that experience till the end. Thank you, Mr. Neil Druckmann, for ruining the game with your shit story and writing. But they said the game is not bad. Impossible to play. The whole game is saturated with this propaganda. But it is very beautiful. But I am one of those people who do not care about graphics. For me, the plot is important. The study of characters. But the graphics, in my opinion, are in last place. I expected more from the game, and the developers just spat in the soul of the players. Can you imagine if like any actual publication was like, the developers spat in my soul? It's really uncalled for. One of the most common tropes I see throughout user reviews, especially on Metacritic, is this weird numbering system that I really don't understand. Graphics, 9 out of 10. Story, 0 out of 10. Variety of enemies, 6 out of 10. Game's length, 10 out of 10. Gameplay, 6 out of 10. Variety of weapons, 5 out of 10. General world design, 6 out of 10. Fun factor, 0 out of 10. Where does it stand in my top 1,000 video games of all time lists? 830. But what's the point of putting all these numbers in a list if you still give it a 1 out of 10? Should have had more fun factor, 1 out of 10. The game is good visually, but the plot is a very weak side of this game. Gameplay is very tight and boring. Story, 0 out of 10. Gameplay, 0 out of 10. Graphics, 6 out of 10. But game based on the plot should not be judged on graphics. 10 out of 10 gameplay, 10 out of 10 graphics and environments, 6 out of 10 storyline, and Joel deserved much better in the beginning. Wait, but you give it a 7 out of 10 overall? Hang on. 10 plus 10 plus 6 divided by 3 is 8.6. So that's what you should have given it if your weird numbers added up. What went wrong? Jesus, this is so far from what I expected. Where is Joel? I don't think this person played the game. Okay, first the gameplay, visual, music, graphic, I give it a solid 9 out of 10. But for the story, oh boy, one of the worst story in the gaming industry. Too much milking of LGBT and SJW community. So sad. So a 9 out of 10 plus a bad story equals a 1 out of 10? Does this make sense to anyone? Even if you gave the story a 1 out of 10, 9 plus 1 is 10. Divided by 2, the average would be a 5 out of 10, not a 1 out of 10. Stop putting these numbers on there if you're not doing anything with them. Weird user reviews are so prevalent on the internet that you can look up any kind of item, no matter how innocuous, and find an Amazon review that is just batshit. Okay, I'm just gonna look up, I don't know, spoon set. 1 star. I will not buy anything online without first reading the customer reviews. The bowl width of this teaspoon is too big compared to my last remaining teaspoon. I gave it 1 star because I'm pretty sure the teaspoons are not supposed to look like tablespoons and because the cost of returning spoons is more than half of what I paid for them. Boo! The Highware 3 spoon is on the left, and my last remaining teaspoon is the one on the right. Yeah, I mean, this guy's right. These spoons are not the same size. 1 star. Cut my mouth. We recently bought these spoons for my office. They are solid good spoons. They have worked well for adding sugar to daily coffee. My poor review comes from an occurrence that happened today while I was using one to eat my soup for lunch. The spoon has just sliced the inside of my mouth while I'm eating soup, pulling the spoon out of my mouth after taking a bite, to be exact. I can't say whether other spoons would do this, and this is just a once-in-a-lifetime moment of bad luck, but I can say that I've eaten with spoons my entire life, and this has never happened. They're like typing this as they're like in the ambulance getting a fucking tetanus shot and bleeding from the mouth. I don't know if spoons have ever done this before, but this is kind of crazy. Precious to God have anything. I was very excited to get this, but the brush is so hard it doesn't seem to do anything with dirt. I need to crush. However, I have COVID and able to use it now. It is past return window address. I wonder if there was like a percentage of people in America who are on the internet and have like a carbon monoxide leak in their house. Another really big problem with user reviews is, apart from being completely unhinged sometimes people will just put a 1 star when they don't mean to put a 1 star. This one is just a 1 star review that says, bien. Here's some reviews of an electric kettle that has over 39,000 reviews on Amazon. There's a lot of really recent 1 star reviews for this fucking kettle. Metallic taste. Failed after the 5th use. What a waste of time. And then there's Martin over here. Perfect for me. 5 stars. That's also a really weird thing with user reviews. If you see a bunch of really recent ones all with 1 star and then someone's like, hey, this is pretty good. You have no idea what the problem is. Did those people just get bad ones? Is this person just not noticing like other things about the product? After scrolling through the reviews for a while, I found a significant amount of reviews talking about how the water is boiling out of the kettle and how it's melting, how it's rusting, actual things that could be really dangerous. But you wouldn't know that because there's so many reviews that the product overall has a 4.7 out of 5. There's so many reviews, it's impossible to get a solid answer as to why this is happening or how you can avoid it. I love food delivery a little more than I'd like to admit, and I have noticed that DoorDash has added recently a little review feature under all the restaurants, and those are some of the funniest reviews I think I've ever read. Here's some reviews of my local McDonald's. It was good. Don't underestimate the amount of salt on the fries. What the fuck does that mean? Don't underestimate the amount of salt. Like, salt is important to make the fries good, or if you put too much, it will get too salty. This is not a clear review. 1 star. I had eggshell in my McMuffin. Oh no. 5 star. Fuego alert. Yo, fuego alert. Here's Taco Bell. Love the food for over 40 years and it is still great. Oh my god. 3 stars. Their ordering menu is different. I ended up with $3 tacos and no meat. Just like completely empty tacos. That's really funny. I'm sorry. 1 star. There was no crunchy taco. The chips were fried in rancid oil. The cinnamon things were fried in Ravi's oil. Disgusting. Always love Taco Bell. Easy dinner for someone who has to work full time. Yum! Here's Wingstop, 4 stars. Fries were undercooked, 3 stars. Food cold, missing carrots, drink wrong size, 2 stars. Ordered lemonade and got Sprite. Received none of the sauce I asked for and paid for. There's just something so funny about like rating your entire meal a 2 out of 5 because you missed the sauce and like got the wrong drink. 1 star. Every time I get a bone-in wing combo, the wings are always way too dry. Who wants to eat dry wings? No one! I am missing an item. I honestly could go all day just reading user reviews. I mean, I haven't even touched on Google reviews or Yelp. There's so much more to go over, so if you want this follow-up video, I probably could do that. Either way, thank you so much for watching my video. Please click like if you had a good time or subscribe for more videos like this every week. Make sure to leave 5 stars in the comments section, all in separate comments, and I will tally them up and we'll see how many we got in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye! Thank you so much to my incredible supporters over on Patreon. Consider checking out the Patreon if you want to see video thumbnails early and little sneak peeks as to what I'm making throughout the week. It's $5 a month and you get your name at the end of videos just like this. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.